This episode is sponsored by the winningest shell in the history of sporting clays and Task history, Gamebore shot shells. No other brand has won more world championships. White Gold and Dark Storm contain precision-made diamond shot that is graded 5 times for consistency and has high-performance smooth velocities, providing less felt recoil. You put in the work. Now load up with the best. Why trust anything else? Available throughout the U.S., exclusively from KL Ammo. Find them online at www.GameBoreUS.com. Gamebore are simply the champion's choice.
Hey, clay shooters, it's that time again.
These guys aren't just anybody. They're good.
It's time for the Dead Pair Podcast with Jason Rambo.
Does your brain hear what your mouth is saying?
And Sean Alley.
He's large and in charge.
Here to bring you all things sporting clays, from the ins and outs, tips and tricks, news and gossip from pro shooters, service and industry specialists, coaches, clubs, and more.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only...
Welcome, everyone, to the Dead Pair Podcast.
Well, Sean, this is a very special episode.
No doubt.
Of the Dead Pair Podcast. We are here at Eagle's Nest with Mark Baltazar. Mark, welcome.
Hello.
We're for the American Field Sporting Ohio State Championship. And how iconic and ironic is it that the very first AFS target was broke here at Dan's place, and now here we are a year later breaking for the first ever state championship for AFS.
Here we are. It's great.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me of that first shoot, and always when we talk about that first shoot, you always have something to say.
No, we're not bringing that up. Everybody's tired of hearing it.
Well, I guess the question is like, in your wildest dreams, did you think it was going to come, this, full circle in this amount of time? Is this kind of how you had it envisioned?
So who knows? When I put it out, you never know. It's like, okay, let's see if people like it. And I said, I need enough people to like it. And we did surveys for the first year at the stops that we did, and we got amazing feedback. Of course, we were tweaking stuff, and we did a big tweak at the beginning of the year this year, and we'll have minor tweaks now. I think we're pretty stable, but you don't know. You go, I made this up, with a bunch of people in a bar and all that. Let's see what, and people are going, yeah. I think part of the reason why people like it is because of the Facebook page we set up. I really, really did outreach to the entire community, and ideas that we had, I put them up for a vote. The vote didn't always win, but it gave us good insights, and everybody felt like they were part of it when we did that.
Right. So
here we are a year later. It's been in a lot of regionals, which is great because there's a lot of people at regionals. They see it, they take it back home. You know, we were just at the South Central. People saw it. We were in Houston for one of our first startups, and it was really early days. And they saw it, and they go, "Oh, this is what it's turned into. It's really good." So
that's good. That's good. Well, and I know it's been a probably ever evolving work in progress, so to speak. And I'm sure you've got all kinds of new stuff for us down the pipe.
We do. But I want to get back to our first shoot that we did here. You said people are tired, and I told people we were going to be doing this podcast, and they said, we're really tired of hearing Jason ask for his damn trophy. So
I told you.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad you didn't do it, but I'm sort of disappointed you didn't do it too.
Oh no.
Because you now have your trophy.
Yeah, I've already seen it.
Oh my God, you got to be kidding me.
Now, I don't know where he found the truck that was big enough to carry that in here.
This trophy
I think
weighs about 200 pounds.
Yeah. Didn't they have to open the wall up, Mark, to get it in here?
It's 6 foot tall.
Right.
It's the biggest cup you've ever seen.
I think it's made of solid granite is what it's looking like.
Or plastic.
Or plastic.
Or one of the two.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. I'm going to have to put pictures of this up on the page so everybody can see it.
Okay, we're doing radio, so you got to describe it. Go ahead, man. Jay.
We got a giant goat on top with, it looks like an udder hanging pretty low. Bunch of stars. It says the greatest of all time, Jason Rambo, GOAT extraordinaire. First ever AFS winner. Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Now, would you shut the hell up, please, on that?
Yeah, that's the nice way of Mark saying, just shut up.
Let's put this to bed.
I can't pick on Mark any longer. It just stopped right here.
Yeah, I was tired of it, and you wouldn't believe how tired your audience was of it. But you got to put a picture up on the site so that everybody can make fun of you, dude.
That is so cool.
Right.
Thank you. I mean, I know it's kind of a jab at me, but thank you very much.
Dude, it wouldn't be me if it wasn't a jab at you.
The problem is all you've done is reaffirm that the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and now I'm just going to hear about all kinds of stuff.
But
nonstop.
That's not always true, because I've whined like this at Lamborghini and they still won't give me a car.
Okay,
so.
great. Hey, here's the one promise you have to make. We can't talk about the trophy now for the next 17 podcasts.
No,
okay, let's just put it all to bed.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, great.
And the way I shot today, there's not going to be another trophy. So, oh man.
Well, you shot like crap, but you got a trophy today.
You know what though? It's something. I mean, I know I've teased a lot about that. People are tired of hearing it, but again, I'm still running into, and I did today, people that are still bashful to shoot this. And it's like, how can you come to an AFS state championship and only shoot at Super Sporting? You know, that's like going to Red Lobster and ordering a cheeseburger. I mean, It just doesn't make any sense. Right. I mean, it's the funnest game going right now, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion, but it's the funnest game going in clay targets right now. And it's like, you guys are doing yourself a great injustice by not trying this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I know I tease a lot, but I really want people to give it a shot. And it's funny because the people that have, because Sean or I talked them into it, they're hooked. They love it, you know.
You know, one of the things about that is it's a new game, right? And what I found is, you know, everybody goes, there's actually more rules than everything else. Well, there are rules, there are less rules, but it's just the spirit of it. There are less rules. It feels more, because there's 4 different formats, and each format needs its own explanation of the rules. There's no other game that has 4 different ways that you shoot it.
Right.
So if you take those out, we really have about 5 pages of rules. But forget about the rules. It feels like a lot of rules because it's a new game. And every time I explain it, it takes more time to explain it than people who just look at it. Even if you go to the videos online, you can see how simple it is, right? But every time people shoot this who have never shot it before, they shoot one field, and they're done. They got it. They understand completely. And it's
right.
Everybody has said to me, I thought it was so much more complicated than this. So even if I can get people to come by who want to refuse just to watch it, it makes it so much more simple.
Yeah.
Like at the South Central this last weekend, people just drove by and watched it and went right to the desk and signed up, because the big mystique and the big, it's a difficult game sort of just washed away. And that's what I find with just about everybody.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I
think
once you actually shoot it, you're like, okay, now I get it. You know, and that's why I keep pushing people to sign up, do it. Just go do it. You know, I mean, it takes somebody that's never shot FETASC before, you know.
I just ask everybody, shoot it, and then if you don't like it, good. But don't not like it if you haven't shot it.
Right, exactly. Right.
And I say also, like, I don't need everybody to like it. I just need enough people. You know?
Well, so tell us about the new stuff coming up for the following year, or the upcoming year.
So first of all, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. You guys have been great supporters of it. We got a lot of great news coming up. Some of that, by the time we air this, will have already be broken. So, but not everybody is on the American Field Sporting Facebook page. But, you know, you guys have a great listenership. You've built a great listenership in a short amount of time. And this is another way to just inform people about everything that's going on. So first and foremost is, we were just talking about rules. Well, guess what? We have some rule changes for 2022. There's actually been comments, you know, the rules keep changing. Well, you know, I feel like I have to defend it. There's a set of rules in NSCA, and there's a set of rules of FETASC that are changing this year. They always upgrade it. They change it. We're doing the same. As more people have shot it, more people see it, we're tweaking stuff. What we're not doing is changing the core game. There's nothing. We're just trying to create more efficiency so we can get through the 25 birds faster. So we have 4 simple things that we're doing this year, and that's about the extent of the changes. like we've done in the past. I'm going to put these ideas, these changes, these proposed rule changes up on the Facebook page for people to comment to see if we can get it better. So those of you who are familiar with the AFS will understand these, and those of you who are not familiar won't. And the way you can become familiar with them is go shoot AFS.
Right.
So on the red field, right now in 2021, we view all the birds on peg number 5, where we shoot the X bird from. And then we walk over to peg 1 and shoot it. And Brett Seibert was at the North Central Regional, and he was first, and he had to do that. And he goes, that just isn't fair to the first guy. It's very funny when you're the first guy.
Yeah.
So we're going to start red and the previews of red on peg 1. So you're going to view it from peg 1 and shoot peg 1. That's simple. No other changes. On white has a little bit, white, we view the pairs on every peg. I mean, the birds on every peg. Those pegs are typically inside red, and we don't preview red. So why are we doing it in white? So what we're going to do is we're going to have one place where we preview white. We're going to make the center, it's the 3-peg field. We're going to make the center peg number 1. So you go to peg number 1, view the birds and shoot it. And then target setters can make the peg to the left or the right, number 2 and number 3. So you're only now in white where you previously viewed it at every. When we shot it here, those pegs were no more than 10 yards away from each other. There was no reason to view them over, and it just slows the game down. So one view on white, it's going to be from the center peg, and you're going to shoot it from there. Here's a big one, and this was controversial when we put it forward. People fought it, and now we're going to relent after looking at it for a year. AFS has one view of all the targets. And so with that one view, it's really, really important that the field judge describes it well, describes it efficiently, because even if you didn't understand, we don't allow a second view. And what that does is it puts, for people who'd like to blame somebody, it puts the onus on the field judge that you didn't explain it to me, like you didn't tell me that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to two views, just like we do everything else. We'll do a simple description, not a full description that we do now. It's coming from over here. It's about to pull, right?
Right.
So that's it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 rules really that we're tweaking. And then, next year, what's interesting, what will be left is blue. Blue will be the only field that you view from both stations. And we're going to try to figure that out too, where we have one view one time, and then that's it, just to keep this moving. What I do see is times going down for clubs that throw a lot. Their times are coming down to 30 to 35 minutes. We recommend, 45 minutes when you begin with for new clubs, because people are learning, so, and if you have a backup, we've had a couple of those over the past couple of years. Just by people wanting to learn the game, it's slowing it down. It takes it long, and then it's just like a stand where the machine goes down, when the trap goes down, everybody's backed up. So everybody's getting good. Everybody who's shooting it knows it. So when they show up the second time, they're helping. It's exactly like what you do in FITASC. When a new shooter shows up, you help them through the rules. They're even actually helping field judges who are not certified. So,
well, that's the one thing I've always loved about AFS as compared to FITASC is how fast. When you step in the hoop, you're shooting that whole menu. And with FITASC, you step in, you shoot your singles, you get out, everybody else shoots their singles, you step back in, shoot your pairs. The flow and today we shot white and blue. Right. Tomorrow we shoot red and then finish shooting the white. But the flow, even the blue, we shot all 50. It was so fast. I mean, nobody's rushed when they're in the box. Nope. But it goes fast. I mean, it's as fast as the shooter's rhythm from one pair to the next. And it's just, I don't know. The fun part of all this is shooting your shotgun. Right. And you get to get in there and shoot your shotgun. You're not just in there for a couple birds and getting out and back in and, playing musical hoops.
And Jason knows that I do like to shoot FITASC, but I guess my one gripe about it is the amount of time it takes. I mean, seriously, when we come here to shoot FITASC, we're here for 3 hours.
Oh, at least to shoot 100 birds.
To shoot 100 birds, it's 3.5 hours.
And no matter what AFS field, if it's 100 birds, you're in and out. And Mark, I don't want to speak for you, but 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, most cases.
You can do, like when we start a tournament, we ask 3 hours, but we're done well in 2 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah. And that's just some efficiencies that we've built into the game. Now, I've had squads that take forever, and that's just going to happen. And if it starts happening too much, we'll put a time limit on it. I do not want to do that. So, one of the things that you brought up is the comparison to FITASC. So I sort of want to put that to rest with everybody. I had a fun time in the UK with FITASC. It was fun as hell what happened. It was, it was just entertaining. And in no way is American Field Sporting an effort to bring down FITASC. What's really interesting is I'm finding that AFS has become a feeder for FITASC. People that were scared to go to FITASC because it sounds intimidating, like everybody who starts it. This feels, because of the low gun aspect, with AA and Master, people that are lower in class are going low gun because they want to try it because the gun isn't as low. It's like a cheat mount. But we've become a feeder for FITASC, for an introduction to FITASC. And some people have called it FITASC Lite. And it's not. It's, it can be as hard as FITASC. That's up to the target setter. That's not the rule of the game. And as more people learn the game, there will be tournaments that the targets will be hard. We can't combine hard targets and new rules, right? Because then your head pops. But right now we're easing it up so that people can enjoy the shooting while they're still trying to navigate new rules. If you look at the game, we're more super sporting than we are FITASC. But guess what? Super sporting is really just FITASC, new FITASC. Yeah. And so what is 5-stand? One 5-stand position is a super sporting station. Yeah. It's all the same game. True. And our innovation on all these, what no one else is doing, is the one-shot single and the expert. That really is our innovation. We're all just standing either in a hoop or stand or box shooting at clays, 2 clays or 1 clay. So all the games are the same. That nobody's done a thing like the expert or the one-shot single. So that's really our innovation. We're just putting you in familiar positions. They go, oh, this feels like FITASC. Oh, this feels like 5-stand. They're all the same when you think about it. I obsessed about it when I was building the rules, and I wanted to build something that was like everything that we shot that's familiar, but upping it, making it faster, more efficient, more fun, more options to make up, a point. That's what the expert is.
Yeah. So, and nobody misunderstand me. I'm not knocking FITASC. I still shoot FITASC. I still love FITASC, but this is just another angle, if I'm saying that correctly, Mark. And to me, it's just more fun.
Yeah. This is just another clay shooting game that people are enjoying. And let's leave it at that. Like the comparison to FITASC, it's like everybody, once they see a low gun, I even had people telling judges it was a 1 ounce game just because they think it's FITASC, and it's not. You can use any ammo, ounce and whatever it is, ounce and an eighth, So I just want to put that to rest because I've heard it from a lot of people. I heard it today. And I've seen it online, and let's be done with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, a lot of another big thing that you've had to overcome is obviously training judges to handle this game. So how's that been coming along?
So thanks. What I learned over the period of putting this up is if your judges, and we've been through this, judges, FITASC judges who are not certified, and sporting judges for sure, calling birds that are dead, not knowing anything, not knowing how to do it. And I see them both frustrate people and have people take advantage of them because of it. Yeah. And so I learned with this game quickly that everything is based upon our field judges, and we call them ambassadors because they are the guides for everybody having fun and enjoying the game and learning it as we go. And so how do you do that? We have an online certification program. So on AmericanFieldSporting.com, there's a field judge page, and it gives you all the tools that you need to get certified, the rule book, and a couple other things. And then there's an online test with 50 questions. And in the past year, we've certified over 60 field judges. And now they're certified, they can go, and I urge clubs to please at least have one certified person. It's free. It costs nothing. It's easy. Your shooters will enjoy the game more and not hate it and not hate you because it felt like a mess. And I've heard some stories of that. So, little plug, go on to AmericanFieldSporting.com, click on the Field Judge tab, download the rule book, take the online test, and get certified. The more people that certified, the better the game gets.
Well, there's some stuff coming up with NSCA in American Field Sporting. Can you touch on that a little bit, Mark?
Yep, sure. So last year we were given a license, or they agreed to a license that we put forward, and we're renewing our license for this year. Some good things are coming out of that. One of the big things is American Field Sporting now has its own designation when you file it. So before it was just in an other category, and we were not able to really track how well American Field Sporting was doing. So now it has its own letter designation when you file it. I was on an email chain with all the scoring software folks, Casey at Score Chaser and Ran at WinScore, and David at iClays, and they're all set up for it, ready to go. This will take place on January 1st of 2022. And being able to now identify American Field Sporting, points, all that stuff, it gives us an opportunity to create the Apparel on Target, which has been a sponsor, our apparel sponsor, has been with us from the beginning, to create the Apparel on Target AFS All-American status. So now I think what you get All-American in Subgauge, VTask, and Sporting, now you can get All-American, the same All-American status as you get with those. You can now get out starting in 2022 with AFS, all sponsored by Apparel on Target. John Michelle Bertrand out of Colorado supplies apparel to a lot of state, for their shoots and a lot of shoots. And he's been a really big sponsor, and I thank him for it. He's putting money up for it. So it's not just like, yeah, sure, I'll put my name on it. He's putting money forward. So it's great.
Nice.
Really excited.
All right. So let's touch on the Gamebore Classic. Fill us in on how'd that do for you this year and what's coming next.
So this year we had 3 stops of the American Field Sporting Gamebore Classic. And it was well received. We had a lot of participants. We just finished our last one. It was going to be at Covey Rise in Louisiana, but as we all know, the hurricane pushed that over to Greater Houston. And I reached out to Kevin Doherty, and he did us a real favor and put a 50-bird American Field Sporting in. We had 140 people there. A lot of people flew in, changed their schedules. It was great. They all showed up. And now we have all of the folks who are going to shoot the invitational. We have invites out. People are showing up at Cypress Creek Lodge in Arkansas. The shoot is December 3rd through 5th. It's only an invitational. So if you're not invited, it's not an open shoot. And, the response has been so amazing. Doug Kirkendall and Dwight Lumpkins over at Gamebore, feel like really excited and want to bring it back, and everybody else has been asking for it to come back. So we're going to do the second year in 2022 of the AFS Gamebore Classic.
And there's some big announcements about that, but we're going to get to that right after this commercial break.
It's all about humanity.
It's time to react like never before. For the first time ever, RE Ranger used artificial intelligence to test and optimize 1 billion different lens variations. It's time to see the sport in a way no one else has with React AI. Available now in frame kits, lens kits, and our most popular lens shapes. For more information, please visit reranger.com.
Rhino Chokes and Shooting Sports introduces the Elite GP30 coating in their Gen 1, Gen 2, and its standard finish on their Elite Series chokes.
Not to mention lengthening and polishing of forcing cones to significantly reduce recoil, barrel porting to control muzzle rise, plus butt pads and recoil suppression systems to keep you fresher longer. Hey, these guys do it all. Corey, what do you think?
Hey guys, this is Corey Cruz, 2019 World Sporting Clays champion. When you're ready to hit clay targets harder, give the guys at Rhino Chokes a call.
American-made Atlas traps are made right here in Kansas and feature the finest quality, innovation, and support in the business. Atlas traps are made using aircraft quality aluminum and stainless steel to ensure your traps will outlast the competition.
So whether you're an individual needing a private trap for practice and recreation, or a club needing to outfit your entire facility, family-owned and operated Atlas Traps can suit all your needs.
Visit atlastraps.com to see the full line of commercial and recreational traps and accessories. With prices that won't make you see red and quality that won't leave you feeling blue, Atlas has the finest equipment available. All right, Mark. Big announcements next year for the qualifiers. Can you tell us about them?
Yep. So the American Field Sporting Gamebore Classic returns for the second year in 2022. This year with 6 qualifiers, 6 qualifying locations. And the other part of that is this year you needed 3 to qualify if you wanted a ranking qualification. And then we also created a category if you shot 2. So, you know, and for people to make all those trips, we're only going to make it two scores qualify.
Really?
You can shoot all 6.
Cool.
Right? You can shoot all 6. And your top 2 scores only count towards your qualification. And one of the other things we're going to do is we're looking at 10 invites per class. This year we did 5. But based upon the response, we'd really like to get more people. We think more people will be involved, and we want to go deeper into it. That means there'll be 70 people competing. There was a question about concurrence. We're not doing concurrence yet. Maybe in year 17 we'll go to concurrence, but not year 2. I have to tell you, it's an effort. It's an effort.
I'm sure
it's an effort, but to like the response of people and people personally reaching out and thanking all of us makes it worth it. Really nice.
So, do you know what where the 6 qualifiers will be for next year?
In fact, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Share with us.
Would you like to hear?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, so we start with the Western Regional, which is March 28th through April 3rd at Coyote Springs in Tucson. It's already up for registration. A lot of people were registered. It was a 50-bird shoot, so I'm not going to change it. I don't want the people that signed up for the Western Regional to have to go back and re-sign up and blow up their schedules and all that. So it's a 50-bird shoot. Then on April 29th through May 1st, we're going back to the Meadows. The Meadows have been a huge supporter of American Field Sporting. They threw one of our test runs. They threw one of the stops of the Gamebore Classic. We're going back there again this year. And this is going to be in conjunction with the Trident Cup at the end of April. Yeah. So that's the Meadows in Forsyth, Georgia. It's going to be a 100-target event. And then we are coming right back here to Eagle's Nest.
Yes.
Nice.
And that is Memorial Day weekend, May 28th through 29th. And maybe you can get a trophy at that one, Jason.
Oh, man. Dude, now it flips. You
can't say anything, but all of us can.
I like that, Mark.
Yeah. I dug myself a hole on that one. So,
dude, you're never getting out of it either. Yeah. So, Eagle's Nest here in Mount Gilead, Ohio, which, by the way, has an amazing Kroger's.
Of all the things to call out, dude,
that was my extent of my tour of Mount Gilead today, and 100 targets. And it's Memorial Day weekend, 2 days, 28th and 29th. And then we're going to Texas. This is part of just that, the experience that people are having down in Texas. They want it in Texas more. So on June 4th and 5th, we're going to be at Westside Sporting in Katy, Texas, which is right outside of Houston, 100 targets. And then we're going to be at the North Central Regional, which is Northbrook this year, in Haynesville, Illinois, 100 targets, and that's July 27th through 31st.
Nice.
And then we're going to be in New York, just an hour and a half outside of New York City at Mid-Hudson Sporting in New Paltz, New York, 100 birds on August 27th and 28th. And then our invitational is going to be on September 23rd through 25th. And I'll just point out, none of these have any conflicts with any of the regionals, any sort of big stuff. The U.S. Open, like here in Ohio, it's the week after the U.S. Open, which in fact, by the way, I want to give a shout out to Rick Hemingway. He's throwing 2 different 50-bird AFS at the U.S. Open. It's almost sold out.
Very cool.
And that's going to get a lot of exposure. There's 1,400 people. I think it's going to be the biggest U.S. Open ever. So.
I think we signed up for that when we signed up for the Open. I think we signed up for the AFS.
I'm going to have to go back and look. I know we're signed up for the Open, but...
I'm pretty sure we did.
Just say you did, okay? Come on.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah, I mean, where are you leaving me hanging here,
Yeah,
Sean?
dude.
You were looking at me with a question. I'm like, I don't know.
So, wow, man.
If we didn't, we will.
This is my podcast partner, Mark.
And this is the guy that throws me under the bus constantly.
There you go.
Well, it's a big bus.
We're like an old married couple.
Yeah, more like a monster truck. Anyway, the Invitational for next year, do you know where that's going to be, or can you say where that's going to be yet?
So before we talk about the Invitational, it's connected. We also have the AFS Nationals, which this year was in Northbrook. And so Jessica and Wendell Cherry at Big Red Oak, we reached out to each other, and they're really excited. And Big Red Oak is going to host the 2022 AF Nationals.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
It's going to be a 3-day event, 200 targets for the championship, and a lot more. He's going to throw over a dozen other events with hundreds of targets to shoot. It's going to be a big shoot.
Wow.
The reason we picked those dates is it's a little bit before hunting season, and there's usually a regional in that time slot. You know, Covey Rise is going to be, nobody grabbed that slot. So this is that traditional regional weekend slot. So we wanted everybody to get it on their calendar, September 23rd through 25th in Gay, Georgia, which is about an hour and a half south of Atlanta. And in addition to Nationals, part of that 200 bird championship, we're also going to layer the Gamebore Classic Invitational on top of it. So 70 people, we're going to put them in their own rotation, not by themselves. We'll add other people, but everybody who's in the Invitational will always be on the same rotation, shooting the same birds.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. So it's a combination of both. I'm really excited. I'm really delighted that Wendell did it. You know, like Big Red Oak is back. Like not that they ever went away, but Big Red Oak has the Georgia State this year, an American Grand Prix this year. They got a lot going on. So I'm really excited that they're using all that to tune themselves up for the AFS Nationals.
Nice.
Yeah.
And short term, which I think other people tell you, so December 3rd to the 5th this year, David and Kaylee are hosting the finals.
Right, correct.
And just so everybody knows, it is only invitational, but Sean and I will be there, and we're going to be recording live. So we're going to catch a bunch of the action. We're going to catch the podium, the champagne. We're going to catch some interviews. So those that can't come, at least they can still see it and somehow or another be connected to it. So
there's a rumor rolling around a lot of people that there's this word turbo coming up. Is there anything you can elaborate on that?
Yeah,
Mark?
what's up with that, Mark?
I keep hearing this AFS turbo.
What are you hiding from us? He's snickering. Look at him.
Yeah, he's got that mischievous grin on his face.
Well, it did what I intended it to do. So, yeah, I'm not going to answer.
Come on.
I want to hold you in suspense. What I will say is the turbo part of it is a way that we can make the game even go more faster. Not meaning making you shoot faster, but the pace will be quicker, not when you shoot, but getting in between stations, you'll be able to kick that out. And the real part of it is it's a format that will allow us to expand to almost 750 people who can shoot a 200 bird shoot. Wow. Or you can even do it with 100 birds. It's a great little device that Brett and I have been working on. Brett Seibert have been working on how do we just create a format that feels a lot like AFS, but really keeps people moving. And there'll be more about it this year. The AFS Nationals and Gamebore Classic final could be in the turbo format. So we'll see.
Oh,
we'll see.
Awesome.
I'd love to have to build a program that can accommodate 700 people. That would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
But we don't believe that's going to happen. So, and what's great about it is you can scale it. So if we build it for 250, and 2 weeks before we find out 450 are coming, we don't have to change the format. We can just expand it. So that's what's sort of cool about it. It's really functional. Yeah. So there'll be more about that, and that'll be a good reason to bring me back next spring.
Well, yeah. Any reason to get somebody other than Sean in the studio?
Right. What else are you holding out on us? Anything else in the deep recesses of your mind?
No, the only thing I would say is I'm not calling clubs and asking clubs to shoot it, And everybody, I've had a couple of people at the club here today say, hey, we want to shoot this at our place. Do we need to sign anything? Do we need to agree? Do we need to do anything? I go, yeah, you just need to throw it. I said, I would like you to have a certified judge. I'd like you to call me, and if you have questions, because I want it to be a good experience for you, I want to give you a new format that will attract people. And the one thing I say to everybody is, don't think just because you're throwing American Field Sporting that 1,000 people are going to show up.
Right.
We're building, so are they, and it's a new game. So let them have the best experience possible, and then we'll come back and it will build. So, throw AFS, and if you're a shooter, ask your clubs for it. And if they go, well, how do I do it? I'm on Facebook, or you can reach me at info@americanfieldsporting.com, and I will support anybody, but I'm not dialing for clubs every day going, hey, will you throw AFS?
Right.
It's like there's even clubs throwing it that I don't even know. I just happen to see it. I'm scrolling through like Score Chase, and I go, what? like California, like up in near Sacramento, California has thrown it a few times, and apparently everybody loves it, but I haven't heard from them, and everybody says it's going great. So, and that's what I want. I don't need to be the overruler of American Field Sporting. All I want is everybody to have the correct experience, the experience we designed, and expect that everybody knows who has been around it a while, because I don't want people who come from Eagle's Nest to go out to California and to a club somewhere and go, you're calling this AFS, but it's not, So I want everybody to have the same experience.
Keep the branding consistent, so to speak.
Just the experience consistent, like just at National this year, everybody was demanding with the field judge that it was 1 ounce. It's like, where the hell did you get that? It's like, just read the rule book and watch 7 minutes of video. That's all it takes to watch the 4 fields. 7 minutes of video, and you get a full sense of it, and it's all there in 7 minutes. There's handbooks. Download the handbooks. The handbooks are only 7 pages, and they're all in with lots of big pictures, but they give you everything you need to know, and hopefully it'll demystify the way it started, that it's this hard, difficult game, and that's our biggest thing right now. But it's happening. People are shooting it. It's growing. We have support in so many areas. We have some brands that are eager to join us next year. We're talking to them about some sort of way that we can market for them. We're not asking for money. We're just asking for people to endorse and get involved. That's really what we want to do.
That's very cool.
I want to talk to the people at White Flyer. They don't know this, but I want to talk to them. I'm all about innovation. We haven't had innovation in sporting clays since Super Sporting was created in 1996. It's been 25 years since we've had anything new, right? Yes, we've had side games and we've had PSCA and all that, but we haven't had a new game. And so I want to talk to White Flyer about how do they innovate? I'd love to have either a MIDI Batu or a MIDI Rabbit. How much fun would that be?
Yeah.
A miniature rabbit. You wouldn't have to throw it as far. And, so it's I want everybody to be bringing new stuff. And if they do that and they hear this, I'd love to talk to them. I'd like to showcase it at our game.
Well, you even joked around. I think it was one of the podcasts we did with you earlier. You said, how cool would it be to have the X-Bird be a ZZ Bird? And I was like, wow, that'd be so cool. There's a lot of people around here who's never even shot a ZZ Bird. So it's that kind of innovation. Has that happened yet?
Well, we looked into it, and ZZ Birds are built to be in the ground.
Right.
They are not built to travel. We were going to buy one. It's not that expensive comparatively. We're going to buy one, but they said you got to bring a tech with it. So, like, it has to be tweaked. I mean, most of them are Italian, and Italian, they look beautiful, they do beautiful things, but boy, do they take a lot of work to keep running, But actually, we were at a club in Pennsylvania, and they have 2 ZZ Bird rings, and they go, damn, we wish we would have known that. We would have put one of the fields on the ZZ Bird field. So that's the kind of thinking they go, oh my God, we got to do it again because we got to do one on the ZZ Bird field. So things like that. It's like ZZ Birds would probably, you would see an uptick if we introduced that. People would, I'm sure people would be going, oh my God, this is fun because ZZ Birds are awesome. So,
well, I think even here, at Dan's place, if I could find one little thing to pick on, and it probably would be the only thing. So like the X-Bird. Load that trap with flash targets. How cool is that? Just something, just
something different.
Yeah.
Jason, the horn isn't enough. You also need your target to explode. Jeez, come on.
Well, no, the reason I bring that up is now hold on a minute. Listen
you need
to me.
so much recognition.
No, I think he would really like fireworks to go off. And
exactly.
A chorus line singing at the back of him.
Right, and instant groupies. It's like
you've been inside his head. I'm telling you, it's scary.
Dude, I toured with the Rolling Stones. This is not rock and roll. This is sporting clays. You don't get that.
What I was getting at.
Somebody's got to give the memo to Jason.
Right. Okay. All right.
I did. He rejects it every time I send it. I will not believe this.
Blue 4 was a good example. That bird was out there, and it was a big, big teal. You would know if you hit it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the only reason I brought that up. It's something different.
So everybody knows what we're talking about with Blue 4, right?
No, I'm just saying that. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess I should explain. That was about
it was a hard bird,
60-yard teal.
There you go.
It's just a standard Dan Bailey target.
Yeah, and it was a Just imagine your local microwave towers that are 300 foot tall, and Dan is still trying to figure out how to get a trap up there.
Nice,
so
nice. You know what the expert's really doing it. Like that's why we added the horn, because we're shouting out. It was so great to be at the North Central Regional and be 700 acres away and hear the horn go off. It was amazing. Right. But what I'm finding is people bragging about their expert hits if they didn't do well in the rest of the game. It gives you 2 things.
I sucked at everything else, but that horn blew twice. I thought it was awesome.
What was your score? I don't care. I hit all 4 experts, right? Right. That's really, there's 2 things you can feel good about or really bad about. But I give you a second one to feel good about something. So
yeah, no, that's
yeah.
Oh, but this has been fun. I hope this continues to grow. And speaking of which, that's something I wanted to ask you clear back in the beginning. This is the inaugural state championship anywhere for AFS. Do you see other states jumping on board? Have you had talks with other states doing this?
I don't talk to anybody seriously. I don't. I seriously don't. Although I've had people call, and there is a big state in the South, that Tesla just moved to that wants to do it in 2023, Texas. So they want to they want to put AFS in their state championship, and we're talking about it at Nationals this year. I'm going to talk to it because it's at the NSCA in 2023. And we're going to talk to them about that. And that was a call. And that's exactly it. I'm not pushing the game.
Right.
So some folks from the state association reached out and said, hey, can we talk? And I said, sure. And they said, we want to do it. And I go, great. It's like, what do you want? Permission. But what I have found is like people think that they need permission. And they're just waiting for me to ask them, it's like, and so I don't think of it that way. I think like, you have the freedom to do it. I just want you to do it right. So
yeah,
I urge every state. I know that there was a question here, Dan, do you own American Field Sporting in Ohio? And the state asked that, and can somebody else throw it? And he goes, please, it's like, so it's spreading in New York, Rochester. So it won't be in next year's state, but the year after that, I hope we can get it in. It will eventually happen as people are throwing it more, because they'll go, like, people are asking certain clubs that haven't thrown it yet. They come up to me and they go, why isn't he throwing AFS? And, it just hasn't come up. So it's there. And, look, it's 1 year in. Last year was just a test year. This year was real. And I think 3 to 5 years, and it'll just be part of our, our portfolio of everybody shooting it. At least that's what I hope. And if it doesn't, it's fine. I mean, I'm just here like volunteering, doing the game, So some days it's totally awesome, and some days I call Brett and go, "What the hell am I doing?" It feels like that. It's like, how's AFS going? Great. Check with me in an hour. Dude, you're a small business owner. You know that. Yeah. How's it going? Great. Check with me in an hour because it could change. So
still early.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. How's it going? Great, but it's early. Right. Yeah.
Well, Mark, are we missing anything? Have we forgot anything? Or
no? We've been bugging these people for 43 minutes. Let's get off the air and give them their lives back.
Well, hey, you brought up the guys at K&L Ammo earlier, and so thank you to Dwight and Doug from K&L Ammo, GameBoreUS.com. Thank you to Bear Pelt, Negrini, RE Ranger,
Atlas Traps, and who are we forgetting?
Oh my God, where have you not sent your barrels to?
Oh yeah, Rhino. I'm not sending them. I'm taking them to the Nationals.
If you had your barrels ported, you would have remembered that sponsor.
And you would have hit the expert today.
You probably would have.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have had that muzzle rise on the second target.
I would like to give a shout out to Bear Pelt. I didn't know this. I found this out because I went up to Eric and I said, "Hey, it'd be really great if Bear Pelt gave away to the winners of the Gamebore Classic, a Bear Pelt." And he goes, We are. What are you talking about?
He's like, you're behind.
Yeah, I'm so behind. But we're actually doing a custom design. It's going to be really beautiful. It's going to be dated and all that, and it's going to say sponsored, shooter and all that. So they're going to be really nice. And what I love about Bear Pelt is the flexibility about design. This is not a plug for them. I just love that they can make whatever you want, and people are loving that. So
it's been amazing. We've been seeing so many of them. I mean, just here today alone, there's dozens of people wearing them.
We had 3 people on our squad who we had never met before, and they were all in Bear Pelts.
Yeah.
So it's
definitely growing.
Yeah, and we still get questions about them all the time, and it's like, quit fooling around.
Just get one.
For $130, go get one. You'll see what the rave is all about. So, but thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mark, for spending some time with us. This is really cool. This is something really exciting for next year, and I hope people will always go back and refer to this podcast if they need some information. If not, they know where to find you. info@AmericanFieldSporting.com. That's another thing too. Your videos online, when you go to American Field Sporting, the videos are so self-explanatory on all the fields. You did a great job on those, explaining the game, how it works for each color field, red, white, blue, and green. And that was awesome, by the way. So, because I have never shot the green field, and I went and watched it, and I was like, oh, okay, this makes total sense.
Yeah,
so.
That's on YouTube too. There's an American Field Sporting channel on YouTube. If you can't remember, AmericanFieldSporting.com.
He's got all the easy answers, doesn't he?
That's right. Well, hey, everyone, we'll see you next week on
the Dead Pair Podcast.